Assalamu alaikum, fam. Hope you're doing well. So, Jennifer Lopez has a song called Ain't Your Mama. Now, I heard a couple of her songs when I was growing up, and I kind of liked her for a while, and then I was like, she doesn't really have that much talent, and, I tried to copy her makeup style and stuff like that when I was like in the 7th grade. And a lot of my Mexican friends, even though I think she's Puerto Rican, but a lot of my Mexican friends like tried to copy her. And she was an influence, less so now. Now she's had like hundreds of thousands of dollars of plastic surgery, lots of makeup. I mean, she's done a lot of plastic surgery work. So she still has an influence, but just as somebody who has had some of the best plastic surgeons in the world. She didn't have that, she would look her age. But other than that, I wouldn't call her influential today, but her songs back in the 90s, I would say, had impacts on young girls. So in her song, Ain't Your Mama, it says here, I ain't gonna be cooking all day, I ain't your mama. Now that repeats a lot. I mean, what's interesting is that these trash songs could be written by a 5th grader, and the only reason why anyone's listening to her is because she's a woman half naked. She has zero talent, and when you look at the messaging of the song and her voice skills, she's just prancing around, being sexually provocative with the beat, but the lyrics themselves are trash, and you're like, so she's just famous because she's got a lot of makeup on, she's showing her boobs, and she's got an okay beat in the background, but these lyrics are trash. Because you would think that the better lyrics, the person would be more famous. But again, when Hollywood props you up, there's a reason. So she taught pretty girls, and also maybe ugly duckling girls, to say, oh, if you're beautiful, you don't have to cook. And if you cook for your man, you're being like his mother. And this is very unhealthy. This is a feminist song, right? All day. Now, when you prep something all day, I want you to know, that's a meal made with love. Thanksgiving, I can make that food because I can't technically sell. It's not a religious holiday. It's just about the farming season. There was some history, supposedly, with the tribes and the pilgrims. But usually on that day, in places where there's winter, you're harvesting your pumpkins and squashes and corn, and you shoot your fattest turkey, and you make a good feast, right? It's not necessarily religious. It's not pagan, doesn't have stuff like that. It's just a farmer's day, right? Now, people have copied it, and they don't really understand the true roots, and they've never really gotten to have the authentic recipes, the old-fashioned recipes, so some people don't really understand it or appreciate the day. And they weren't raised on farms, so they don't really understand. But on that day, you cook all day. I love that day. I do a lot of cooking. You gotta put the turkey in, you gotta rinse it off, you gotta take out the gizzards, you got the kidney, the heart, the neck meat. You got a lot of work to do. Okay, you gotta tie the legs. You gotta get that big pan to put the turkey in there. You can brine your turkey. You can do all kinds of recipes for your turkey. Rub it down with whatever herbs you want. Put some onions in there, celery, stuff it, right? You gotta get going on the mashed potatoes, the gravies, the pies, the bread rolls. There's so much food that has to be prepared, but it's a labor of love. There's so many dishes after. But when everyone's eating and everyone's just so happy and the home is filled with love, it's one of the best feelings in the world. Thanksgiving. Growing up, I loved every single Thanksgiving because I got to go to multiple people's houses and have multiple food. And when you're a poor kid and you get to have Thanksgiving, it's like a feast day. And when the old grandmas are in the kitchen making, food with love, with their aprons on, subhanAllah, it's one of the most special memories I have in my life. And with my friend, one of my dearest friends, she's a chef, and her mama is like a old style chef. Oh, the food was it's just stunning. It's just homemade jellies and just delicious, fresh from the oven, from scratch bread rolls, homemade pie crusts. Nothing from the store. I mean, there's nothing like it. And so when the women are cooking, some men cook too, but most of the men are watching football, or they're out playing with all the kids, keeping the kids distracted and out of the kitchen, right? That's usually what they're doing while the women cook. It is something loving, okay? It's something special, it's something honorable, where you teach the young girls the art of cooking, how you time food, right? How do you prepare it? How do you know when something's overcooked or it's just about right and when you should start something else? And how do you space everything on the table? And how do you make sure everybody's chairs are in the right way and who should sit next to who? There's a lot of logistics that go into it. So when she says here, because she's just this pretty, pampered, rich brat, saying, I ain't gonna be cooking all day, I ain't your mama. It's like, that's such a negative, nasty mentality to have towards your lover and towards his mother. And you think you're some princess on a horse and you're above cooking. So it degrades women who cook all day. Do you see the wordplay here? She's acting like she's an empowered woman when she's just a nasty, bitter, witchy, vile woman. That you would never want your son to marry someone who says something as nasty as that. Because it means when she's going to go to his mama's house and she's been cooking all day, this chick probably ain't going to help wash the dishes. She's probably not going to say, can I help you with anything in the kitchen? Which is a huge sign of respect. Usually the mama will say no, because some mother-in-laws don't want daughter-in-laws helping, for whatever reason. It's like a woman thing, but she's disrespecting your mom. Like, I ain't your mom. Yeah, but you're going to be the mother of his children. And if you're not going to cook and you're just going to sit and think, I have perfect boobs, I have the perfect butt, I don't want to mess up my nails. What are you good for? You're not good for nothing. Just to look at and smash, once every 3 days? No. Right? So to think that cooking is something women should not do, and that it's only something a guy's mother should do, is highly disrespectful. Because, notice this, the mother is cooking all day, so she's a traditional mother. Which means the traditional mother was cooking for her sons and her husband. So what is Jennifer Lopez teaching the girls? Break tradition, don't cook. Just try to look beautiful, and a guy should just fall on his knees and be your little slave, and you show him a little boob and he should just fall on the ground and be your little dog boy. No. Very negative way of looking at women who are better and who cook. She continues, I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama. Again, this you can split the laundry if you want, right? But you have to wash your own clothes, and you at least have to wash the kids, or you can rotate and take turns. Okay, and if your man has bought you a nice washing machine and a nice dryer, and it's in your house, what's the problem? It's harder if there's a laundromat outside. You want some help, And you don't want to go alone to some laundromat. Some of them are super sketch. Lots of drug addicts in there, in the hoods. Oh, I didn't like going to those, man. They can be kind of scary. So you don't want to go to the laundromat in a sketch area without your man. So he's going to be helping you. Right? You have this special cart and bags to do your laundry. You all go on the same day. There's a bunch of different machines in the laundromat. You bring your soaps. You bring a magazine, a book, whatever, and you get it done. But you do have to help doing the laundry. The hand towels, the bathroom towels, the bathroom rugs, your bed sheets. When you have a baby, you got all their little tiny clothes. There's a lot that has to be washed. Okay? And if you're just going to stay at home and you're not going to do laundry and you're not going to cook, your looks are going to fade at 30. Okay? Now, the ironic part is Jennifer Lopez has money to get plastic surgery over and over and over and over and over and over and over. But the average woman can't afford that. So if you're going to have this nasty, lazy, cow attitude, like a pig just laying there, like, I'm so pretty, everybody's got to just worship me. I mean, it's quite ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous. I ain't your mama, boy. I ain't your mama. And that repeats a lot. This song is such trash. Like, very low-grade lyrics. It's just a catty, witchy, feminist, nasty attitude. I hate it. I hate it so much. I just want to just push her down some stairs. You know, she's just awful. This attitude, man. And she's calling him a boy. Do you get that? It's a huge insult. Hey, boy. You know, what's up, boy? She's saying to him, I'm not going to do laundry. I'm not going to cook. And I'm not your mom. And you're a boy. So she wants him to do all the cooking. Him to do the laundry. And she thinks she's a princess who's got to, you know, have a personal chef. Or she has to go out and eat every night. She wants dinner reservations at the best restaurant. So she's going to drain his wallet. I got to have a nanny and someone to do my laundry for me because I'm she's so special. It's nasty. Utterly nasty. And you could see how loving his mom is. She's doing his laundry. She's cooking. What is the purpose of this woman beyond being an object of intercourse? She has no purpose beyond that. And see, they're selling this idea to the youth by using a Puerto Rican woman. And the Puerto Rican women, when I lived around them in Philly, their moms are traditional, cooking up. Oh, I just had Puerto Rican food the other day. Camarones empanizados, maduros, plátanos. Oh my gosh. Habichuela beans. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Just amazing. And their picadillo hot sauce. I mean, it's just amazing. They can cook. They can get down in the kitchen. Right? So she's telling the daughters of traditional Puerto Rican women, which is an American territory, don't cook and do laundry. So Britney targeted Christian girls. Jennifer Lopez is targeting Puerto Rican and Latino children. It's a clever weapon. Clever weapon. She says here, wake up and rise and shine. Best get to work on time. No more playing video games. Things are about to change. Now notice this. So the guy, he's got to go wake up and rise and shine. He's got to go get to work, making money. But what does she got to do? She don't got to cook. She don't got to do laundry. You know? And she's insulting him, so she's not even loving. She's degrading him psychologically. So she's using him as an ATM. One of the worst kind of gold diggers. Okay? When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. Now this is the ironic part. She's the one who needs to get her act together and accept her gender role. And stop being a vain, pampered princess who thinks that the world should be at her feet because for now, gravity and time hasn't given her wrinkles and saggy breasts. That's the truth. And again, if she's not going to cook for him, this is a sign that she's not going to be good at cooking because the more you cook, the better you get. So when they have children, you know, is she going to be even cooking food that kids will like? You know, is she going to be burning that French toast, you know? Not rinsing and sorting the beans before she cooks it? Is she going to be a moron? You know, is she going to have food sanitation preparation here? Right? You know, is she going to squeeze the lemon and let the seeds get in the food? I mean, come on. You know, it's just... Is she going to know how to debone some salmon? Take out those delicate bones? I mean, come on, woman. You know, it's just sad. So she's insulting him and calling him a boy. Now, the video games point, some men can play video games too much, but your guy does need some time to relax. Men like video games. I like video games. I have to be careful how much I like it, but still, he has to have his relax time. And if he watches basketball, if he is doing something, he has his little harmful entertainment. And her telling him he can't play video games, but she gets to tell him she doesn't have to cook and clean or do laundry. It's like, come on, woman. You ain't got no right to tell him what he can and can't do if you don't do the basic duties of your gender. Come on. And then she continues again. I ain't your mama. She just insults him over and over. We used to be crazy in love. Can we go back to how it was? Obviously not. Now you see the lust. So their relationship was just intimacy. Just the flesh. And that runs out pretty quick. Okay? Once he's had you about 10 times, he knows what to expect. And then the butterflies wear off. And now it's about keeping him satisfied and keeping the relationship in line. That's why if you talk to people who've been married for 40 years, people who've been married for 10 years, even 5 years, they'll tell you, it starts off like you're crazy in love. And then the honeymoon period is over. And then it gets more serious of trying to find out who is this person. You're going to have fights. You're going to have to get it together. And she says she won't cook. But one of the best ways to get over a fight is a good meal. Make him some yummy food, appetizers, a protein shake. Make him some of the best ribeye he ever had with some nice garlic mashed potatoes. Make him a juicy cheeseburger on a grill with some nice mesquite wood smoke on that smoker. Dry aged cheddar, bam! Organic lettuce from a local farm. Really red juicy slices of tomato on there. Homemade pickles. Subhanallah. Make him food where he don't even want to be mad at you because he's too full and he's too cozy and happy after a long day and then eating your delicious food. But if he works, and he's seen your boobs too many times, he knows what you look like without makeup, he knows what you look like when you first wake up, he's heard you fart, heard you burp, he's seen your weird habits, you're not going to be able to be the fancy princess anymore. And this is where the coziness of the home goes a long way in keeping your partner with you. Okay? But if you're just going to be a pampered brat, sitting in front of her giant mirror and her vanity set, 2 hours worth of makeup, and then just sitting there, I'm just so perfect. I don't have to do anything. It's not great. You have to have romance. You can be out in the garden, your man sees you in that kind of beautiful position, he gives you a little pat on the bum, you play around, you horse around, whatever. Sometimes you'll be cooking, he'll come behind you and give you a hug and give you a kiss on the back of your neck. When you're folding your laundry, he'll come up to you and give you a nice good kiss. When you're doing house chores, men play sometimes in order to make you feel better while doing them. And this is the playful romance element that comes in. Sometimes you'll be making some food, he'll come over and taste it and joke around like, oh, it's so gross, and then joke and say, it's perfect, I love it. These cute, playful moments when you do house chores are important. But if you want to be a princess, you're not using these opportunities. You cannot just be expecting with your long nails and your rings and your jewelry and your fancy stuff and say, honey, I want to go out. You had a long day at work. I don't care. I ain't your mama. Take me out to eat because I am a queen. This is just not going to work. He's going to ditch you faster than a bag of moldy potatoes. So, of course, who's going to stay crazy in love with a woman who doesn't cook or clean? And yes, some men can have a perfect housewife and cheat. And they may cheat with a Barbie. But at the end of the day, as some Italians say, they go home to the one who feeds them. And they get tired of being an ATM. When did you get too comfortable? Do you see this? So, sorry, woman. Your man, the longer they're with you, the more comfortable you get. Some women think when you are letting your man get too comfortable, he'll disrespect you more. He won't be afraid of you leaving, so he acts different. But in the end, if this guy is comfortable with her, even though she's one of the laziest types of women, she's the lucky one. Okay? She's actually degrading him as a boy, but she's the useless one in the song. For the way her attitude is, the moral she's projecting, right? Your man should be comfortable with you. That's the goal. If there's too much unknown, chaotic energy, you don't know if he's going to stay or if he's going to go. You can't build a family with someone like that. When someone's comfortable with you, they're going to be comfortable to put a baby in that belly, right? Because they feel like you got the vibe. They feel like you got it going on in a way that they can then trust you to be around their money, Because men, sometimes they leave their money around. You know, they leave their personal papers out. And once they're comfortable with you, they show it. Right? And they start to open up more, tell you how their day was. But if you're just thinking it's going to be hot, crazy, humping forever, that's not the way it goes with men. Because once they've had you, the taste wears off, and you are who you are. And that's the fact. And women don't want to accept that. Some women are brainwashed by Jennifer Lopez like this to think that this catty, negative, lazy attitude can work because you can get plastic surgery and you're always going to be like, it's just not the way it works. And then she says here, because I'm too good for that. Remember that. And then it repeats, you ain't good for nothing. If a woman like this, I don't care how hot she is, if I saw a chick like this talking to one of my brothers, that's when you pick up a milkshake, get her a little dirty and say, get out of here, you chase her away. And then your brother will forgive you later, but he'll be happy, right? He might be like, oh, you were mean to my pretty Barbie. It's like, sorry, man, she's a loser. She's not going to cook. We might need her to cook for a wedding, a banquet, like a baby shower. Like, we got to have a woman on the team, man. And if she's just going to sit around like a princess, make all the other women cook, and make all the other women do things, and she thinks we're her slaves, her servants, her maids, sorry. We need teammates to this tribe. We don't need useless eaters, right? And then it says, you're lucky to have these curves. This is something that you gotta understand. Okay. These, like, there are women who think because they have a butt, because they have thighs, that this is like always gonna last, and then men should just fall on the ground because of your beauty. It's like this sort of pagan Greek Venus, Aphrodite body worship, purely pornographic, right? Where you think, oh, we're gonna be crazy in love, and I'm too good for that, and you lucky to have these curves. I ain't gonna cook and clean. I'm just gonna be a sex goddess sitting here, so beautiful. It's like, it's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. You're living in a lie. No, think about that scene in Scarface, where Tony Montana tells that chick, her womb is so polluted, I can't have a baby with her. It's so polluted, the drugs can't grow a baby, right? There are a lot of men, even drug dealer men, who they'll be like, you're pretty for now, but you're barren with drugs and vanity, plastic surgery, alcohol. Eventually, if the man has an ounce of goodness in his soul, he's gonna crave a traditional woman. And Jennifer Lopez has been passed around more than my sandals, right? And now she's back with Ben Affleck, So these Hollywood elites, they jump from relationship to relationship, living under the knife of the magician plastic surgeons, and they brainwash young girls to do habits that will lead them to living in welfare, living alone, and will make them undesirable to traditional classic working class men. Okay? She brainwashed Puerto Rican and Latina girls to break the traditional gender roles. And on Judgment Day, I think she'll pay for that. But imagine this attitude. This is where a lot of that feminist attitude came from before Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. And look at what it's done to America. Look what secular liberal feminists from the atheists with a root in the occult have done to the minds of women. Over 13 million single moms. They expand taxes. Their kids are the most to join gangs. They are the ones to have the most abortions. So not only do they, with this attitude, run out the time clock of fertility, but they also are not capable of having good men, because good men don't want to be talked to this way. And men don't want to be talked to this way. And degrading the kitchen shows an evil heart. I will always say that. Because cooking is family, it's love, it's laughter, it's joy. And a catty makeup plastic surgery witch, a Medusa, an Ishtar, telling young girls that they shouldn't learn how to cook is very horrible. Especially in times of food insecurity. You want to know how to make good food with minimal ingredients. and you want to know how to go into a kitchen and be in your element. That's what you need. I liked working in the restaurant industry because I could jump from being a bartender to a host to a server, and if someone told me you want to be on the salad prep area, you go do it. That's how you want to be. You want to be able to do multiple positions in your home to where you got the food cooking, the laundry, you got 40 minutes till you got to go pick it up. Okay, you got this kid is playing, one is drawing. You're doing constant logistics, constant multitasking, and your brain is actually more satisfied. That fulfills you as a woman in so many ways. Sitting on your butt or just working out and looking in the mirror, taking selfies and putting on some makeup, it leads you to a very weird place. Because when you start looking in the mirror and you see your beauty fading, it's a hard crash. Because you don't accept that there's a time for you. And that's why you get people like Sandra Bullock, who uses face creams that have the foreskins of babies because it's supposed to tighten up your skin. This is when you get scientists creating anti-aging products to save women who can't let go of their beauty. And then that's how you get these really witchy, occultic women, is because they don't want to let go of the lust, the sex, the hedonism. They don't want to age with grace. And then they hate beauty and vitality because it's a reflection of what they lost. And they become a cancer in society. It's quite fascinating just how much could be said about the whole history of why these little cults pop up, of these little witch covens. And, there's so much to be said about that, but YouTube doesn't allow you to talk about that, ironically. They let you talk about gang stuff. You can hear Jay-Z, you can hear Nicki Minaj, but if you start telling women how they can become crazy if they don't actually find traditional gender roles that are in line with God's law, they'll silence you. But this song, Ain't Your Mama, boy, is low-class trash, and I hope Muslim girls don't fall for the same trash. If you hear a woman talk like this, close the door. Take her purse and throw it down the stairs and be like, get out of here. Get out of here. Just chase these women away from your brothers as fast as you can. If you have your son is dating a woman like this, chase her away like you would a cobra. Smush her like a bug. Just get her out of your life. If you get a stepmom like this, I had one stepmom who was like that, reason with your father, or, shake the table, as they say. You have to protect men from women like this. What do you think, fam?